Welcome back to Kayfabe Talks. I got my co-hosts Ethan and Thomas. Unfortunately, our other co-host Logan couldn't make it. But anyway, a couple days ago, 2 days ago? Yes, I'm trying to do my math. 2 days ago was Elimination Chamber. But before we get to it, we gotta get to the build up to it. So on Raw, we had Liv Morgan deciding her opponent for WrestleMania, which meant whoever won an Elimination Chamber had to go against the other champion. Liv Morgan selects Stephanie Vaquer at WrestleMania. Ethan, all I saw was the motion, but yes, Ethan is clapping. I guess Ethan likes it, so Ethan, you talk a little bit about it first, then. What do you
Well, I
think?
think it's already it's gonna be a lot more of a stronger build and stronger match than the person Jade's going against, because Jade can't hold her own in a promo or in a match. So I'm just
True.
excited that it's gonna be a very exciting build. A lot of people say that they deserve the main event, so I don't think it's gonna happen, but we'll see.
It won't.
It's a chance it can happen.
Mm-hmm.
Just probably won't.
It won't. I don't think it will.
Okay. Yeah.
Thomas, what do you think about Liv challenging Stephanie for WrestleMania?
I mean, I think it was really the only way to go, right? Like, I know she had been
Mm-hmm.
teasing that she was maybe going to pick Jade Cargill. She'd been showing up on SmackDown. I got to see her deliver a promo and then wrestle in a match in Charlotte on SmackDown.
And
She invited. Yes, unfortunately, she did lose that match in the tag. Don't remind me. Sad times. But yeah, obviously, had Jade come to Raw. Typically, she's on SmackDown, being their champion, and kind of teased that maybe she was going to pick Jade, but ended up making her choice of Stephanie by choosing to just punch her in the face, and then proceed to attack her, hit an Oblivion, hit a code breaker, just unloaded all the offense that she has in her arsenal onto her. So now we know who she will face at WrestleMania. And I personally think I know we're going to talk about the Elimination Chamber here in just a moment, but regardless of what happened in that, I really do think, and I told you guys this kind of myself, that that match could main event night one. I know it probably won't, but in my mind personally, I think it could. And I don't see it happening because that belt is on Raw, and they already have
Mm-hmm.
the Raw belt on the men's side main eventing night two. So I don't know if they want to go with both those for night one. But I personally would like to see that, and definitely going to be a good match for sure. Um, you know, Liv Morgan can hold her own in the promo, and not that Stephanie Vaquer can't. It's just due to English not being her first language, obviously no fault of her own. Kind of needs a little bit of help from Jackie Redmond and Kathy Kelly at times, but whenever she does get on the mic, it always delivers, even if it is in bits and pieces coming in English. And then obviously you add in Dominic Mysterio to translate that Spanish, adds up for some good comedic bits, like a mistranslation here and there. And very much looking forward to it at WrestleMania. Should be a phenomenal match.
Mm-hmm.
Gonna be a great build up, I'm sure too. I'm excited to watch Raw tonight and see because Liv Morgan has been confirmed that she will address the crowd.
Mm-hmm. We seem to all be in agreement that it could potentially be a main event match at WrestleMania, but we just all know it won't because of Drew's match, which we'll get to later. But I agree with you guys. I think it was the only decision that made sense. If she went after Jade, it'd been like, why? It just wouldn't have worked. I don't think. I don't think it would have been a good build, a good match. I don't think any of it would have been good. So I'm glad they went that way. Um, Next we'll go to AEW for real quick. It's the only time we'll talk about AEW today. But it was a pretty big. That was that wasn't a dig, Ethan. I swear.
I know he's
okay.
sad. Only mention of AEW.
But what we're going to talk about was pretty huge. I'm going to be honest. We have officially have our match between Hangman Adam Page and MJF for the title. It has been confirmed to be a Texas death match. Since Ethan is our AEW guy, he shall go first.
I thought it's really cool because I mean obviously I don't think Thomas has seen a Texas death match, so it's pretty exciting for him. But also the segment itself was just so funny and entertaining because like they made it to where it was like a coin flip, and
Mhm.
MJF's the stipulation was there'd be no disqualification, but if Hangman even looks at a weapon, loses the match, which just means that it, MJF would automatically win, and then he did the coin flip and it landed heads, and it turned out the coin was a double-headed coin. So yeah, it was just really entertaining segment. I'm very excited to see where they go with it. But yeah.
Thomas.
Yeah, MJF's antics never disappoint. Like you said, had the coin and his simulation, as you mentioned, one-way disqualification. So that meant he could use whatever weapon he wanted, but if Hangman Adam Page used a weapon, then obviously would be disqualified. Very unfair, very MJF like, very heel like. Obviously, again playing into that villain role as he so often does. And what I liked in the segment as well, because obviously it's great that we're getting a Texas death match, but just how it came to be is Bandito, Brody King, and Kevin Knight kind of all came out and cornered MJF and forced him back into the ring as he was trying to head back to the locker room. And then you have Tony Schiavone say, "Oh, Tony Khan just learned that the coin was rigged," as Ethan just stated, double headed coin. And so it will be a Texas death match, to which the crowd obviously replied very happily in roaring applause. And, this is my first time seeing Texas death match. And I've seen the best AW has to offer. This past Wednesday, Ethan, you'll have to remind me of the exact name of the match, but, I saw guys
It was
throwing
like
vacuums
mile
at
high
each other,
something.
uh, kendo sticks, just you name it. And obviously, this takes a kind of a step above that as well. And Hangman Adam Page, it seems very comfortable. Obviously, he was the one who asked for it, and kind of seems to me that he's going to thrive in this type of match and potentially dethrone the champion MJF.
Yeah, I think the segment itself was entertaining. Like you guys said, I thought it was. Excuse me. I thought it was, well done. I th- I kind of had a feeling something was up with the coin, whether he was caught or not, because I just felt like there was too much trust in a coin flip. You know what I mean? But I liked it. I'm excited to see it. I feel like I haven't seen MJF be in a death match before.
He. I don't think he's been in one, to be
So
honest.
I'm
It's
intrigued.
been like just extreme rules type
Yeah,
matches.
I'm intrigued
I
to
said, I
see.
got a way to actually get the pay per view.
hmm
I might just straight up buy it because can't miss that. It's going to be a banger of a match.
I agree.
AW usually delivers on their pay per views.
hmm But I'm excited to see the match. You know,
Mm-hmm.
get a little bit of, I guess, violent action. See where it goes. Hopefully MJF wins. Then Hangman won't have to go for the title anymore. He's been in charge. This was his decision. He knew what he wanted. So I'm excited. So yeah. Next we have the Elimination Chamber. PLE. The moment everyone has been waiting for. The reason they clicked on this video or clicked on it on Spotify. Anyway, we'll start off with the first match. Was the women's elimination chamber match. Thomas. Ow, just hit my hand. Thomas, we will start with you. What did you think?
So I'm going to be brutally honest about this. Two things. One, it was a great match, and two, I did not like the result. Rhea Ripley got the win. Congrats to her. But, I'm doing a little bit of research, came up with some stats, and, yeah, it's kind of what you guys accuse of my guy Cody Rhodes being, and that's always in the main event scene, always in a title match at WrestleMania. So, looking
Yeah.
at this, Rhea Ripley, 7th WrestleMania in a row, great. That means she's been available. No problems there. However, in those 7 WrestleManias in a row, she'll have competed for a title in every single one of them,
She
with those
defended
titles
one.
being 6 different ones, whether it be, women's championship, women's world championship, a tag team title, an NXT title, whatever it may be. She's time and time again found herself in the main event world title scene at WrestleMania. And so again, while it was a great match, and I'm kind of get into some of the spots that I thought made it such a great match here in a second, is that I think story wise, it made more sense for Tiffany Stratton to go on to WrestleMania because you have her come back at the Royal Rumble after an injury. She doesn't win the Royal Rumble when everybody kind of thought she was going to win. Obviously, props to Liv Morgan. We were all happy she won, kind of coming back from injury herself. But I just feel like the story was there to have that kind of return and have her go to a WrestleMania World Title match, very much like Charlotte Flair last year. And obviously, I know Tiffany Stratton still has a long way to go to kind of reach that level of superstar status. But I just felt like with Jade Cargill being the one to take the belt off her back in November, October, whatever it was, that they were kind of building up again for them to have another match because since she has come back, they have yet to wrestle. And you think being the person who lost the title due to injury, that you would be first in line to get that shot when it comes back. So props to Rhea Ripley. Phenomenal match. Some of the spots I really liked. Um, Raquel Rodriguez just absolutely trucked. There's really no other way to put it. Kiana James threw one of the pods, just took her out, and then proceeded to eliminate both her and Asuka with a double pin. That was really good. The first elimination of the match, unfortunately, uh, was Alexa Bliss, who I knew she wasn't going to win, but on an off chance she somehow might have won, I would have been so happy. But unfortunately, she was the first to be eliminated because as she was going to hit the Sister Abigail on Kiana James, Asuka missed it her, and to which led to her being pinned by Kiana James. So props to Kiana for capitalizing on that, and Asuka, kind of taking her out there. Continuing to build that rivalry between the Kabuki Warriors and I guess Charlexa is what I'll call the team of Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss in the tag division. But that was a great spot. And then my favorite one of the match was whenever Rhea Ripley did Hurricane, I believe was the move Michael Cole said, and then onto Raquel Rodriguez, and then off of that, Tiffany Stratton proceeded to do the world's prettiest moonsault to eliminate Raquel. So unfortunately, I did not get the final two right in my prediction. I said I thought it would be Raquel and Tiffany Stratton because you have a face in Stratton versus a heel in Rodriguez. But unfortunately, that was not the case, and Rhea Ripley ended up getting the win. So great spots all around, great match, just didn't like the outcome.
Ethan.
Um, I mean, we didn't watch the match or the
True.
show as a whole, but
True.
I was a little disappointed in the result as well. I mean, I wanted Tiffany to win. I mean, I did say Rhea was like my backup. I mean, it was only because it made more sense than everyone else. But yeah. I mean, congrats to Rhea. Obviously, you got to give her flowers. I mean, it feels kind of out of nowhere. I mean, yeah, she's been on SmackDown and everything to defend her titles, but other than that, she hasn't been on SmackDown that much. I mean, that's just my take. Is that obviously, congrats to her, but little unnecessary.
Yeah, and I think too, real quick before Owen goes, it was actually a cannonball that Rhea Ripley had that mixed
Mm.
up. And then Tiffy did the prettiest moonsault into the elimination of Raquel. So did a phenomenal job of making Raquel look like a powerhouse again. Had that spot where she just threw Kiana through the pod. But I think what I kind of see with Rhea is we had done our predictions before SmackDown had happened.
Yeah.
Later that night on SmackDown, probably not even an hour after we finished recording our chamber preview, her and Io Sky lost the women's tag team titles to
Mm-hmm.
Nia
Mhm.
Jax and Lash Legend. Once congrats to them. Love to see Lash get the push. Obviously, we love her on this show, and or at least I do.
I just got to see more of
Obviously,
her wrestle. That's
because
all.
of her, her involvement with Trick and all that. But yeah, if we had known that kind of going in, I would think it would have been like, okay, it's kind of easier to see coming because
Mm-hmm.
she just lost the title to open up another opportunity for a title. Because more likely than not, if you go into WrestleMania with a belt, you're not going to get that second one. Obviously, it has happened before, but just didn't seem super likely, and it kind of would have been easier to predict. I feel like if we had done it after SmackDown.
Yeah.
Yeah. To be honest, I'm really getting tired of admitting I'm wrong.
Yeah.
It's not going to change any this episode. Did I get anything? Yeah, okay, never mind.
Yeah, I got a few
Um,
things right.
I forgot.
I only got one.
I got one match, but I got two
I
predictions
got
in total. It's gonna be a long
I
episode,
got
isn't
2
it?
matches and the other thing.
Yeah. Anyway, first, before I get into my thoughts on it, I want to say this, Thomas. I would never, ever consider the women's tag titles or NXT title a world title. So your argument's invalid to me.
Yeah.
Hey, that's just the research that. Well, I
I
say research,
know.
which is top of my feed, but you guys accuse
Yes.
my guy Cody Rhodes of always being in a world title scene, and people got mad at Charlotte Flair for the same thing. So where's the double? The double standard is kind of crazy to me.
Well, he's been in it since WrestleMania
Well, well,
39.
hold on. First, obviously, I said anyway, the Women's Championship and or just any NXT title and the Women's Tag title are not world titles, so that's one. Two, she did not win every. Charlotte is almost a guarantee to win, except her match against Rhea.
She didn't win last year either.
Jokes on you, I forgot that match.
Oh,
But
that's right. She went against
against
Tiffy. I
Tiffy,
completely
yeah,
forgot that match.
right.
I was
That
I
match
I
is
I
so
was I was
forgettable.
I was literally just about to say she was in a world title match last year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, won the
Completely
Royal
forgot.
Rumble.
Yeah, we know.
Oh
I know
yeah.
she won the Royal Rumble. I just
I kind of pushed that Rumble out of my head. I won't lie.
anyway. Back to Rhea. Yeah, I think it should be Tiffy. It like Thomas said, if we had done our episode after SmackDown, it would have been, I guess, less
A little
shocking.
different.
But yeah, I th- I just hope it's a good build. Obviously, Rhea's going to have to do a lot of the excuse me heavy lifting.
That's
Not
probably why they did it too.
not that Jade
Because
is
Rhea is better
awful,
on the
but
mic than Tiffy.
yeah, not that Jade is awful,
Yeah.
but she cannot do it like Rhea can. So I think it'll be interesting. I hope it's good, but I still think the story works better if it was Tiffy.
Mhm.
But I mean, it's not about the story. I guess it's about what works, and if it's about luck. Okay, hold on. Let me explain. In terms of kayfabe, whoever wins the match, that's all that matters is you win the match. It's not going to be, oh, I lost to you, and then I was gone for so long. I want a rematch. So, like, in terms of kayfabe, it makes sense. But in terms of looking at it from like behind the scenes creative standpoint, why? Just like why? But I also pretty sure I got my last two wrong. I think I said Tiffy and did I say Alexa?
Oh, I got that one right too. I forgot to mention
I
that
think
one.
you said Alexa. I don't know. I could be wrong.
I don't
I
remember,
got it right.
but in my
Yeah,
defense,
you just got the winner wrong, but
yeah,
we all did.
yeah.
So
Yeah, we
In
all did.
in
We
in
all were
my
like, "It's
defense,
definitely Tiffany."
there's a lot of bias in that choice. So, mm.
yeah, I would say like, match-wise, it's good it's a good match, of
Mhm.
course. You
Mhm.
have 2 powerhouses, Rhea Bloody Ripley going against the Storm Jade Cargill, like, I have no doubt that it'll deliver in ring.
I
It's
hope
just
so.
as you just mentioned on the promos, like, on the mics battle on the road to WrestleMania in Vegas, Rhea is gonna have to do a lot of that heavy lifting, and, Jade can cut a promo here and there, it's just
Yeah.
I feel like it's harder for her to sustain, so, maybe that's something they can coach her up on a bit, and we can get some good feuds going 'cause, gonna SmackDown's gonna be, must-see TV on the road to WrestleMania now with what's happened in the men's chamber and then just, n n now in the women's chamber,
Mhm.
and, again, story-wise, I think it made perfect sense for Tiffy. But match-wise, you know, probably couldn't have asked for a better match. Like I said, you get the 2 powerhouses going against each other, so I just hope it delivers and hope that they can build that hype up to it.
Mhm. So, after the women's elimination chamber match, we have Becky Lynch versus AJ Lee.
Let Ethan go first, he
Thomas,
got it
you go
right.
first. No, Thomas, you go
Oh,
first.
what?
Thomas goes first.
Man, gonna
No,
get me
I
all
say I go
No,
first.
I picked. I say
Well, who
Thomas.
says you get to pick? This is a group thing.
I just moved
Everyone
it.
vote. Who
I
votes that
say
I go
I
first?
want Ethan to go first, but if I have
Yeah,
to,
but Ethan,
I guess I'll go into my full-blown rant.
go.
Triple
Yeah,
H,
let him
what are
rant
we doing,
first, and
man?
then we can get our
What
stuff
are
out the
we
way.
doing? I get it. You want AJ Lee, or absolute joke, as Becky Lynch calls her, to win because you're in
That's
Chicago, you get the
clever.
loudest pop. But this isn't about pops. This is about the greatest of all time. And you put Jessica Carr as the referee. I texted you guys. I saw from the second she was the referee, I said, it's so over. Like, I was like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, what are we doing? And like in that moment, like my heart sank, and I knew it was going to be a phenomenal match, and it was. Um, Again, I'll kind of get into some of the details of the spots here in a second, but uh, Jessica Carr is now in matches that she's refereed with Becky Lynch. Becky Lynch is 0-7 in those matches. I think dating back to like November, October. So
Dang.
it's not a conspiracy theory anymore. It's definitely a pattern. So Becky Lynch is 100% in the right. She's already called her lawyers. They're going to be on it. I expect a rematch at WrestleMania where hopefully the man gets her title back because that title is nothing if she's not the one holding it. But again, really good match. A lot of funny antics, kind of like what we were talking about MJF earlier. Becky being a heel just works so well because she exposed the turnbuckle, and then Jessica Carr noticed and like was trying to put it back up, to which AJ Lee, or excuse me, Becky threw AJ Lee like kind of into her, and then whenever Becky went for a kick, AJ dodged it, and then she blasted Jessica, who was down for I don't know, like 3, 4 minutes, maybe 5. She was down for a good bit of time because AJ Lee put Becky Lynch in the Black Widow, and Becky did submit, but it was while the ref was down, so she didn't see it. And then, AJ was beating her down pretty good. Becky was able to recover, hit the manhandle slam, got Jessica back to her feet, and then AJ Lee kicks out at 2 and then goes on to proceed to hit a Black Widow for real this time, and Becky Lynch taps out. That's all she wrote. So, props to AJ. Walks out of her hometown of Chicago a champion. First singles match in over a decade. Just all the storylines, all the good feels are there for sure. Even celebrated with her husband CM Punk after his match as well. So, not the outcome I predicted. So far, I'm 0 of 2. I only went 1 for 4 in the night. We're gonna get to the one I actually got right here in a second, and I felt good about it too. I literally said, "Man, I think I can go 4 for 4," and it just didn't happen that way. So hopefully Becky gets a rematch at WrestleMania. But again, they continue to build that rivalry with her and Jessica Carr because I know you guys told me that Jessica Carr trains at the Performance Center. So it would be very interesting to see if they do something in ring one day together.
Mhm.
All right. Now, I'm not one that usually says "I told you so," but I did tell you
Can I mute
who
him?
won. That's right,
Can I mute him?
AJ Lee.
Can I mute him?
I'm right. Y'all are wrong. It feels nice to actually win, you know?
Is that
Um,
annoying to you, Thomas, as it is to me?
Is what annoying?
Is that as annoying to you as it is to me?
That's fine because I
Mm,
told you I'd be insufferable after Cody won, and
exactly.
we'll get
that
to
did not
that
That's
happen.
true.
later.
You did say that.
Yeah.
All right. Obviously, it was the most reasonable, acceptable, and predictable outcome you could have ever had. Only idiots could have gotten that one wrong.
All right, bro.
But
Oh
yeah,
man, he's
no,
annoying. Continue. Keep.
no, it was from the stuff that I was seeing. It was a pretty good, entertaining match. You know, like Thomas said, it had like the turnbuckle getting removed. You know, it was just a lot. I remember seeing something that like Jessica Carr got like knocked down, and Becky started to tap, but the ref didn't see it. Um, so I mean, it just looked like a fun, at least entertaining match. Obviously, having AJ win just means like, oh, they're gonna fight each other at Mania, and Becky's gonna win there. So I mean, that's the way I would book it. At least is that I would have Becky be like, you know what, Adam Pierce, I got my lawyers involved, and they've set up a rematch clause at Mania, and you know all that other stuff. And then obviously Becky was probably gonna win. But yeah, again, from the stuff that I saw, it was a pretty fun match. And I told you also.
You in fact did.
Yep.
Yes, I'm well aware you
Listen
told
to
us
me
so.
every now and then, you guys.
I'm okay. Yet again, another match I got wrong.
Man, do we need to keep a tally of how many times you're just wrong,
I
you know?
don't want to do that.
Okay.
But
Dude, yourself.
I don't know what to say, guys. I'm gonna be honest. I got nothing.
You've already apologized so many times. Like it's become kind of become just a segment of the show at this point.
Yeah.
And this time, Owen's weekly accepting of him being wrong.
I say because I
Mm-hmm.
usually just say I was wrong, but I don't like really like apologize. I'm just like, oh, I was wrong.
I
No, I'm
am
just
wrong.
gonna take it
I
harder than I do.
I acknowledge when I'm wrong.
That's fair.
Mm, but yeah. I hope Becky wins it back at Mania. I mean, okay,
She probably will.
either way, it was obvious that whoever won, like no matter who won, they were going to wrestle again at Mania. Like I feel like it was just obvious, no matter what. Because I mean, it's Becky versus AJ. You have to have that at Mania.
Mm-hmm.
So the build up's going to be, the normal build up of great versus great, I guess. I don't know what else to say. I'm gonna be honest. It should be interesting. I just wish I was right.
Yeah, and with what Ethan just said about how you would book it, I kind of was going in the opposite direction because we were on the same wavelength. We just had them kind of flip flopped. I said
Yeah.
Becky should retain so that you kind of avoid the predictability of oh it's Chicago, of course AJ is
Mm-hmm.
gonna win. And obviously you had very sound logic again with the whole lawyer bit. I know I
Mm-hmm.
was texting you guys in a group chat. I love how Becky uses her social media kind of as like the vessel for
Mm-hmm.
her heel work, and I said she's probably has the best heel work in all the women's division currently.
Yes.
And I would say without a doubt. Instantly after the match ended was putting on threads that Jessica Carr should be suspended. She wanted a reaction from Adam Pearce. Adam Pearce came back with a social media video of his own uh, and said that he's not going to suspend her. Becky said that if it didn't happen, she wouldn't be on Raw. So again, I'll have to keep you guys posted on that as I watch it tonight, whether or not she's actually there. But I would believe that she's not. She seems like a woman of her word. Although someone she's very close with could be there, and I'm hoping he's there, which we'll get to shortly. But yeah, I kind of had it happening as Becky wins in Chicago, beats AJ on her home turf. AJ obviously wants a rematch and is like, hey, like you beat me on my home turf.
Mm-hmm.
I want to get you back. And then you have her win it at Mania, which in my mind, and I'm assuming everybody else's minds, is obviously bigger than Chamber moment wise, being the biggest pillar in the company. But again, I see why they did it. You get the pop in front of the hometown crowd, first singles match in over 11 years. Because even Wade Barrett on commentary, he like, kind of like said it as a joke, but it was also very true. Was that he had had a singles match recently than AJ Lee. So just kind of really
Mm-hmm.
did a good job of highlighting how long she's been gone and what it took for her to come back. Because obviously she's had her own struggles and as to why she stepped away. So really glad to see her back and that she's kind of overcome that. And obviously now back with her husband as well. They're on the road together. So really cool story there. And yeah, like I said, Ethan nailed it 100%. I would have booked it slightly differently, but we were on the same wavelength, so can't be too
Yeah,
mad at that.
Yeah, I just think it would have been interesting if like Becky won and then AJ was like, "I got my lawyers and I'm getting a rematch." Just give Becky a taste of her own medicine.
I
Feel
would
like,
say, yeah, turn her a bit on her.
yeah, I feel like that would have done really well. All right, finally, segment I don't have to admit I'm wrong for, but the one I'm sad to talk about. We got Punk versus Finn. I think we all know where I'm going. Who's the biggest Punk fan?
me.
Yep. So,
That was a rhetorical question, by the
Ethan,
way.
take it away, Ethan.
Um, and again, another very predictable outcome. Not that that's a bad thing. It's just we all knew Finn was not gonna win because they've already set up the Roman match. It would have been a nice swerve, but there's not enough history to real there's not enough real history between the two to make to make Finn versus Roman at Mania work as well as Punk versus Roman does. Also, Chicago crowd and everything.
Hmm.
But from what I've seen, it was another really just good match. Um, other than the fact that Finn botched, he slipped on the turnbuckle in the top right corner of the ring, which we will get back to in the main event, by the way. But yeah, it looked like a fun match. Punk was bleeding, I think, from like the nose or something. Punk obviously got the win. And then after him and Finn shook hands, they did that in Ireland as well. So that was I think they're turning Finn babyface. Even though there were reports that he was going to have a babyface solo run last year, but still, it's nice to see that they're actually doing that. And
Hmm.
then AJ Lee came out to celebrate with her husband. So I mean, yeah, it looked like a really decent match.
Yeah, I like how over the course of the past 2 months or so, Finn Balor has put on two just excellent top tier quality. I know you mentioned the botch, but those happen. Nothing you can really do about
Hmm
it. Good job of moving on from it. Excellent quality matches with the best in the world, CM Punk. And I thought the build up to this match was just absolutely phenomenal. I didn't mention this in our chamber preview, but I really like the segment on Raw where flanked by his Judgment Day cohorts, Dominic Mysterio and JD McDonough. Finn Balor delivered a promo in which he told CM Punk, as we all know, calls himself the best in the world, that he was the real best in the world because he trained with the best luchadors in Mexico, best dojos in Japan, best catchweight wrestlers in Europe, just all the above. Beat Roman Reigns his first night on Raw. Just kind of laid all his accomplishments there, and I thought that was a really good segment. And again, just another great match like they had in Ireland. Unfortunately,
Mhm.
Finn the loser both times, but like you said, not going to really jeopardize that main event. And I still hope that Finn somehow finds a way to make it a triple threat. I know Owen probably thinks that as well. Ethan probably not so much, but I would love to see that. And I do hope they turn him face. And my favorite part of this match, and I meant to mention it in the open for our women's chamber. But I just want to shout out my good friend Amari West because he gave me his ESPN login. That's why I was able to watch the game in the first place. So find yourself a friend that has ESPN. Uh, what is it? Unlimited is what they call
Yeah,
the
yeah.
app. So big props to him. Got to enjoy the whole show. It was phenomenal. But yeah, this match though, my favorite part was when it was kind of towards the end, but Punk went for a GTS, his signature go to sleep move, and but he did it like right near the ropes, and so Finn was able to roll out, and Punk couldn't go for the pin. So Punk wanted to win in what he believes, is a fair way, not wanting a count out. Goes out to break the count. Finn jumps back up and hits him with a drop kick, sends him through the barricade. And it was just such a really cool spot because, like, you just had this guy hit your finisher on you, and then you're able to immediately just pop right back up after potentially being counted out. Again, Punk did break that count, but had he not done that, could have been a real possibility, and just kind of able to get back up to your feet and have the wherewithal to hit that drop kick. And then we saw him hit a couple coup de grace as well. He just looks so well in ring. Obviously, at his age, just the shape and physique he's in is incredible. And I hope they give him a solo face run because, like you said, Ethan, it was rumored last year was supposed to be the year. It was not. So hopefully, 2026 is turning up all things Finn Balor. Would love to have the Balor Club be in full effect. And also
Yeah.
props to CM Punk for being a fighting champion as well. He didn't have to do this. Adam Pierce thought he was crazy because he thought it put the main event in jeopardy. Triple
Mhm.
H and Creative, they can all rest easy because he made it out of the match unscathed. Obviously, like you said, had a little bit of blood on the lip, but it was just a battle through and through. And as you mentioned, they paid respect to each other afterwards.
Yeah. I forgot to mention this, but after the match, Punk went on the post show and he had a boot print on his face from where Finn Balor kicked him.
Yeah.
And he posted a photo of him earlier today. His face is bruised, like he's like got like a bruise on his eye and like on his forehead and stuff.
So he's supposed to appear on Raw tonight. Him and Roman
Yeah,
are supposed to go face to face. They're both scheduled, so it'll be interesting to see how noticeable that is.
yeah. They might have covered it up with makeup, but we'll see what happens.
Yeah. Excuse me. Would have liked Finn to win. Sucks that he
It's not gonna
didn't.
happen.
What?
It's not gonna happen.
Who knows? Maybe he could be like insert himself in the main event of WrestleMania. That'd be sick. Don't you think so, Ethan?
Listen,
I think he should.
I would like for him to be put in the main event, but it's not gonna happen
I
because
know it's
they're
not.
gonna be a
Yeah,
multi-man world title match.
but I get why you have Punk win. Obviously, you
Mhm.
got the main event of WrestleMania. The hype around that match is already pretty big. Excuse me. And then, if you it just having switching it like the last minute wouldn't have made sense. So I get why Punk won. I feel like the only
Yeah.
reason he like even had a match is because it's in Chicago.
Of course,
So
that's the only reason he had a match. He's the world title holder from Chicago. He
I'm
gets the
just
biggest
I
reaction. Come on.
I'm just saying that's if it wasn't in Chicago, he wouldn't have had a match, and we wouldn't be like, oh well, maybe it just wouldn't be. So it is what it is. That's all I really got to say about it. So after the match, we found out what was in the box.
What's in the bar?
I mean, there's not much we can really like say for it because it wasn't like it was a big segment. It wasn't like a match.
If only there was someone who doesn't really know Danhausen that well and would like to give us their first thoughts on it.
Well, I can't even finish my sentence. Yes, Danhausen was in the box. Thanks, Ethan. Danhausen was in the box. I'm gonna give my thoughts first, just to get out of the way. I mean, I'm excited to see him in it. I just feel like having the dancers with him kind of ruined it. I'm not gonna lie. I remember watching it and I was like, "What the heck is this?" Because I mean, it's Danhausen. He doesn't need the dancers. He's the weird guy, I guess, is a good way to put it. You know, that's who he is. He doesn't need dancers. So I hope they don't mess him up. That's all I gotta say, really. I'm excited. I'm glad he's there. Excited to see where he goes, but they'll probably mess him up. I mean, plus he's only there because of CM Punk. So
Oh, are they good friends?
yes,
Yeah, they're good friends
they're
anyway.
still yeah. So no surprise why he's there.
Or
Punk's
it's
got to
just
have it his way.
I say you do not seem happy that he's in
what are you
WWE.
talking about? He's not there because of Punk. He's there
Punk
because
has to
he's
have
got
his
like
friends
WWE business.
there.
Whatever, little bro. Whatever.
Punk just has to have his friends there.
I'm gonna deafen him real quick.
No.
Yeah. Anyway.
Yeah, you guys give your thoughts. Whoever wants to go.
As someone who knows Danhausen, and has seen him on TV, I didn't really like the way they executed it. I'll be honest. I saw the dancers. I watched it on Instagram, and I was just like, "What? This is not good." And then turns out the crowd started booing. They were booing him. That's not good either. My main issue is that I know where he's gonna go. If he's on Raw, cool. I know he is on tonight. Um, but I mean, he just debuted, so obviously he's going to. But I can definitely see him ending up on the mid card of SmackDown, which is essentially like the bottom of the WWE main shows, because nothing really happens with them. They're just backstage comedy gimmicks that every now and then have a match.
Or truth.
So
Yep. Johnny
Danhausen.
Gargano. Yeah,
Danhausen is a creep comedic
that's
wrestler.
his entire thing. He's
Oh,
not. He's not gonna do a lot, but he's still gonna be there. But
okay.
I'm interested to see what they do with him. Prove me wrong. Use him, but it's not gonna happen.
Yeah, and real quick before I get to Danhausen, I just want to do something I thought I'd never be doing, and that is thank CM Punk because he was the only prediction I got right was him retaining that World Heavyweight Championship.
Oh yeah, he didn't even Thomas didn't even get the
He didn't get the
box
box
right.
right.
Yeah. No, that's why I was like, wait a minute, I didn't mention it when we were talking about it, so I might as well do it now because I was wrong. Unfortunately, I think I speak on behalf of almost the entirety, if not the entirety, of the WWE universe, as Michael Cole likes to call them. That I wish it was Chris Jericho, and sadly, it was not. It was another XAW guy that I had no clue who he was. Found out who he was, so that was neat. He gave Michael Cole a jar of teeth. Don't know what to make of that. Obviously, like you said, he's kind of a gimmick, funny guy. I saw a meme that said all the jobbers were hanging around the box, so that meant you knew the guy in the box was going to be a jobber. Sorry, Johnny Gargano. Sorry, our truth. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see, what their plans for him are. Like you said, Ethan, I think he is going to be on Monday Night Raw tonight, so I have to keep my eyes peeled for him. Maybe he has a match. Who knows? Because that's what I kind of thought when he came out, because obviously, they didn't announce it. They only had 4 matches on the card, but they do
Hmm.
surprise matches all the time. I thought maybe he'd have a quick little singles match, but after he came out with the dancers, and I know Owen, you said you didn't like the dancers. I did read that one of them was his wife, so that was kind of cool.
That's different.
Seemed to very much fit his character, I guess. With the white mask, they were all wearing white masks. It just reminded me of like the movie V for Vendetta.
Never seen
So,
it.
yeah,
It's
okay,
face paint, but
yeah. But you get the gist of what I'm trying to say. So
Yeah.
very interesting to see. Gonna be, I guess, neat is the word I'll use to see how they use that character and what matches he's booked in. I imagine if he has a match tonight, it's gonna be like against El Grande Americana or somebody. I don't know. Kind of hard to predict,
Hmm.
but definitely a interesting debut, especially with giving Michael Cole that jar of teeth. To which Michael Cole said he was very happy to receive.
It.
I just saw he put out a tweet and it said thank you for the teeth. To which Jane has replied, "You're welcome, Michael Cole," or something along the lines of that. But yeah,
it
very jokey character, I guess.
It definitely was one of the debuts of all time.
Mhm.
That's the only way I can word that. Is one of the debuts of all time. Anyway, that leads us to our main event, the men's elimination chamber match. Thomas, start us off. What'd you think?
So again, very much with the Rhea Ripley situation. Something happened on SmackDown that answered my very prayers. That was that Logan Paul qualified for the Elimination Chamber match. And in doing so in qualifying, he was phenomenal in the match. He had 3 eliminations, took out Javon Evans with the pulverizer. Um, he took out LA Knight with a lariat slingshot move and then stole a pin as Cody Rhodes was going for the crossroads and hit Trick Williams with it. He threw Cody Rhodes off of him, stole the pin, sadly eliminated our guy Trick. But finished third in the chamber. Had a really really solid match. So thank you Triple H. I'm giving out a lot of thank yous today. I think CM Punk. He was the only prediction I got right. Got to thank Triple H for putting my guy Logan in there because it was really exciting. It was a fun match to watch. Like all my favorites were in it. You had Randy Orton who went on to win which I'll get to here in a second. Cody Rhodes, who was my pick to win, sadly didn't. And then Logan Paul, Trick Williams, L.A. Knight, and even Javon Evans, I like a lot too. So all 6 guys, I couldn't complain with who they had in there. Um, Sucks for Jey Uso that he got taken out. Going to be interesting to see how soon we find out who it was that attacked him. But glad my guy Logan got in there. Got to have a really good showing again. Finished third. And I think he was taken out by Cody, if I remember correctly. Um, but yeah, obviously Drew McIntyre again inserting himself into the main event title picture. Obviously, he is the champion, so he has the right to do so. But had a run in, and I'm trying to remember exactly what he did first. There was so much, and I realized I kind of just left out a key detail of Logan, so I will have to circle back to that. But yeah, he came in, and then Cody and Randy kind of made a conscious effort to team up on him, which happened to Logan as well. Cody, Trick, and Javon kind of teamed up on him before he's able to turn things around and get those eliminations. But you know, Drew was hit with an RKO, then Cody crossroaded him, and then out of that crossroads, Randy, no hesitation, RKO'd Cody, got the 3 count, and he's now going on to face what I believe will be Drew McIntyre at the uh, WrestleMania in Las Vegas. But I say I think because after the match, with Drew kind of sticking his nose in Cody Rhodes' business again, and just everybody's business on the SmackDown roster, Nick Aldis did make it official that he will defend that championship against Cody Rhodes this Friday night on SmackDown. So, going to be interesting to see. I think Drew will probably retain that because I know we've kind of talked about how they're setting up a multi-man match. So, wouldn't be surprised if somebody like Sami Zayn or Jacob Fatu has a run in and the match gets tossed, or Drew could just take out Cody with the title and have it end in DQ. Who knows? But it seems like they're setting up for that multi-man match. Obviously, I want my guy Cody to win, but uh, congrats to Randy Orton. Even though I was wrong, again, I wanted Cody to win. I was kind of too overconfident. I told you guys that when, not if, Cody had won, I would be very full of myself, very high on life, and I even went so far as Saturday morning, I ordered a American Nightmare shirt off WWE Shop because I was like,
You
you know, I got to
did.
get some new merch to rep the guy who I think is going to win the chamber and go on to main event WrestleMania. And sadly, that was not the case. So you know that should be here this week. Still looking forward to repping it, but it didn't go the way I had planned. And even bigger news, to kind of circle back to Logan because he did get pinned by Cody. But the reason he was pinned by Cody is because the masked man made an appearance and curb stomped him. And we finally now know that the masked man, we had known, but it was officially revealed that it was
Mm,
Seth freaking Rollins. So I'm really hoping that he's on Monday Night Raw tonight
Mhm.
because obviously him and Logan have history together. They wrestled each other at WrestleMania 39 in Hollywood. Logan lost that match. And then in 2023's Elimination Chamber, Logan Paul cost Seth Rollins. So now, you know, 3 years later, Seth comes back, costs Logan. Paul Heyman's reaction was very funny. He was just screaming, "No, no," whenever Seth took the mask off. And what's interesting too is because we know, you know, they've had stand-ins for Seth because he's been injured. Now it appears that he's back healthy. Wasn't wearing a sling or anything
Mhm.
at the chamber when he did that stomp, and he it seemed like he was able to take the mask off with ease to reveal that it was him. Was that on the night before? Because I mentioned Logan qualified against Jacob Fatu, is that Logan actually unmasked who it was. We're like, oh, it's just some like random no name guy. Turns out it was Don Furio, who wrestles, or I guess wrestled at Seth Rollins' Academy. And then another guy who showed up at the chamber, they took it off again. Seemed to be like a no name guy. And I didn't actually know who it was. I never found that out. But I would imagine, again, similar to Don Furio, that it was somebody who wrestled with Seth at that school.
Mhm.
And as security's taking him away, that's what allowed Seth to sneak in and hit Logan. So just a lot of chaos, but it was a really good match, definitely deserving of the main event. Congrats to Randy. I hope he goes on to get 15 at WrestleMania, whether it's a singles match with Drew, you know, whether it's multi-man match where you have guys like Sammy, Cody, and Drew, or excuse me, Jacob. Um, just gonna be phenomenal. Would love to see him get 15. No, that went kinda long, but there was just so much that had happened, and I watched it live, so I kinda
Mhm.
had to give all my thoughts. Again, sad I was wrong about Cody, but hopefully he'll go win it back this Friday.
yeah, obviously didn't watch the match, so I don't really know everything that happened other than, LA Knight botched in the same corner that Finn did, and it's being memed on like crazy because it was LA Knight. Um, yeah, the Seth Rollins reveal, that was a huge, huge deal. Obviously, again, like Thomas said, we had known it was Seth. But I just thought of this. I think it'd be really cool if tonight on Raw, Seth is out there and the Vision are out there. They're talking, and then what if a masked man comes in and attacks Austin Theory, and Seth takes out Logan Paul, and then the masked man takes off his masks and it's Grayson Waller. Just saying,
That's what I've been saying, man.
it
That's how
Yeah.
I would
wouldn't it
I
wouldn't
I
be
think it's gonna be that no matter what.
yeah. But my only issue is then would it be a tag match for Mania
Yes.
or 1-on-1 for each? I kind of want to see a 1-on-1 for
I think it'll
each,
be a
me
tag
personally.
because it's the
But
Vision versus Seth.
yeah, no.
It'll be a tag.
But yeah, that's that's my prediction for what's gonna happen tonight. But yeah, I mean, Thomas kind of hit everything, went into everything. But yeah, Randy won. Was wrong on that one. I said my final two was gonna be Trick and Cody. I was
I
wrong
got
on
the
that one.
last 2 right, I just had the winner wrong.
Hmm. Yeah, it's interesting because I mean, knowing that Randy's last WrestleMania main event was like 12 years ago, it's kind of crazy because I mean, we I remember watching that when it happened in the WrestleMania 30. So yeah, I'm excited for it. I think Randy's gonna win at Mania. Probably not. I don't think he's gonna win. I don't think he's gonna get 15 because he's tied with. Isn't he like already tied with Triple H or something?
Mhm.
Yeah, for 3rd
Yeah,
most.
come on. Let's be honest. Triple H ain't gonna give it to him.
Why wouldn't he?
Triple H.
What was I doing anything? They were in
He
Evolution
put himself
together.
on video game covers, so I'm still
That
not
he
happy
didn't
about
get
it.
he didn't get a
Anyway,
say in that, and Randy and Triple H were in Evolution. Why he has every reason to do it?
anyway,
I
it's my
think you're
time.
just shushing me because I proved you wrong.
No, it's my time. Um,
My time.
So
You sound like
yes,
MJF right now.
so
very
yes.
good. um, I'm interested to see what they do with Trip now. To be honest, I really am. I mean,
US
where does he
title,
go?
baby.
Yeah, where does he go?
US
Other
title.
It'll
I
I
probably
mean,
just feel like
tag.
that's a little bit of a
considering
knockdown from where he just was. That's just me personally. But yeah, this whole thing with Cody and Drew, it makes me feel like it's one of the reasons I feel like we're not gonna get Finn versus Punk and Roman because they're already setting up a multi-man match with Drew McIntyre of it being like a fatal four-way, and I don't know how to feel about that. I wish they would just. I at least feel like Jacob shouldn't really be in it. But that's just me. Um, I have no idea where they're gonna go with this. And I'm interested, barely, but that's just because there's so much going on with around that one title. It's kind of hard to keep up at the moment.
Mhm.
But that's kind of all my thoughts. Because, like I said, I didn't watch it, so I don't have an in-depth review like Thomas did.
Mhm.
Not that that's a bad thing.
Yeah. I'm glad to see Seth Rollins back. I do think it'll be a tag match. I think his partner will be Grayson Waller, and they'll go against Logan and Austin Theory. So I'm excited to see that. See that I think that build will be really good. I remember when Seth and Logan went one on one at Mania. It was one of the best matches.
that's Logan's only loss at WrestleMania.
And it was a really good match.
Yeah, I went back and watched it because I was um about a year or so around this time.
hmm
Um, right ago,
Excuse me.
I went back and watched all his WrestleMania matches just to catch up. Because it was before I became such a huge Cody fan. Like Cody was my favorite, Logan was my favorite, and again, he's still my second favorite in the men's division. And that was a really good match. I agree.
So I'm sure that tag match will be just as good. I wouldn't be upset if it's a singles, but I mean they just had one, so that's why I think they're going
Man, technically,
tag.
it has been 3 years.
Yeah, but it's better they had one. But again,
I just want to
see
see
what happens.
Grayson Waller versus Austin Theory at Mania. That's all I
hmm
want to see.
Yeah,
I don't want to see them in a tag doing it.
I agree, but I think it's going to be a tag just because Logan and Austin have the common enemy kind of thing, and they're a team. But I'm gonna be honest. I before I get into anything, I am happy Randy won. I am. But I genuinely think that this Drew Cody thing is so stale. I'm so bored with it. It's so annoying at this point. I really am. I hope this is it after SmackDown. I'm so serious. Same with
You know,
Jacob. I know it's not. I know it's gonna be multi-man, but it's just come on, dude. I don't want to see it anymore. It's every week. I'm tired of it. I don't care who it is. I want it to be Drew, and I want it to stay Drew. Stop it with, oh, it could be this guy. Oh, I want to face him. I don't care. I get it. He's the champ. You have a target on your back. But for the love of God, let it be someone other than the same three people. I'm tired of it. It's so stale and it makes SmackDown boring, in my opinion. I'm tired of it. It's the same thing every week. Drew or Cody opens the show. Jacob comes out and says, "I want to fight the champ." And then Cody's like, "No, I want to fight the champ." And Drew's like, "Ha ha, I am the champ." No one cares.
I
End
think
it.
Randy will open the show. No,
Well,
considering
I
he just
know.
won the
Well,
championship.
I think Randy would as well.
now it's going to be Randy, but that's my point. I'm tired of it. End it Friday, please.
Yeah,
I know they're
yeah,
not, and they're
wrap
going
that up
to
at the end.
I know they're setting it up for WrestleMania, so it's gonna be like a six-man match. But if that's the case, why even have Randy win it? Why
I
have
mean, I think
Randy?
this would be multi-man even if Cody won.
I know, but
Yeah.
my point is, why Randy has nothing to do with Drew. So why have him win it if you're going to have everyone else that's already in a rivalry with Drew in it?
Well, and granted, this kind of only happened just the week before, but I would argue that they are in a rivalry. And granted, it kind of like just started the week before Chamber, but whenever we were watching SmackDown, and Aleister Black called out Randy, and they made that the main event. Drew did come out and cost Randy that match. So, maybe they had that with the fact that he was going to win in mind. I don't know. That remains to be seen. But I'm sure Randy's going to come out on Friday, probably open the show. I would hope he would, being the
Hmm.
winner of the Chamber. And then obviously later on that night, the main event is definitely going to be Drew and Cody, which I hope ends clean. I'm not holding my breath for it though. Again, I'm sure there'll be a lot of run-ins, maybe some shenanigans with Drew just
Shocker.
decking Cody with the title and then a DQ. But obviously, would love my guy Cody to win it back. And then I just hope whatever happens, multi-man, singles, whatever, that Randy Orton walks out of WrestleMania with number 15.
Yeah, I hope Randy wins. If not, I want Drew to win. If it's a multi-man, obviously. I don't think it should be. The multi-man match should be Finn Balor. Okay. If I'm biased, I'm biased. But I don't want to see Drew versus Cody versus Jacob versus Randy and versus Sammy. I don't want to see that.
Who wants to add Sammy to that match?
Ethan, he's in the rivalry.
Yeah, not
Which is
really.
just a championship chase, which is what it's supposed to be with everyone wanting the title. But you can't have it, everyone can't have it at the same night at WrestleMania. You have to earn it. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of everyone just getting a shot in the mat, in the card. Earn it. Jeez.
So what I'll say is the reason I had picked Cody and what you just said, Owen, you're happy Randy won. I
I
100%
am.
am as well. I'm not as mad as I am about Rhea winning because I didn't think it made sense story wise. I
Hmm.
just thought Cody made the most sense story wise, given the
Yeah,
Yeah.
rivalry, because I think a good way to wrap up that rivalry is at WrestleMania.
I agree.
So
But
while I was
just
still
finish.
happy with Randy winning, I was a bit perplexed considering his rivalry with him. Again, like I said, just started kind of like a week ago on SmackDown with him costing Randy the win against Alistair, getting involved. And I said in our preview, I thought personally, and because you just brought up, they may have four guys, they may have five, that the best match they had was a triple threat with, you have Drew going as champion, Cody as the chamber winner, and Jacob as kind of like that underdog,
Hmm.
Brian Danielson type role that I said I also want Finn to be included in as well. So that was the best match to me, but obviously I'm not the one who
Hmm.
books them.
I
This is
agree.
not my unfortunately. I can't just pick up a controller and make what I want to happen. And so it'll be very interesting to see this build up. And again, SmackDown going to be must see TV. You're going to have Rhea Ripley cutting promos on Jade Cargill. Cody could potentially win the belt back. Randy's going to have his piece to say as the chamber winner. Jacob and Sammy obviously still going to want opportunities at that title. It'll be very interesting to see too. And I imagine after his match with Cody, assuming he retains, he probably won't. But if Drew remains a fighting champion or not on the road to WrestleMania.
I don't know. If Cody had won, I wouldn't be this like of being in an uproar about it because it would have made sense. But having Randy win, along with everyone still wanting that match, just doesn't make sense. And it really bothers me that we're probably going to have to sit through another month of everyone going after Drew plus Randy. Because I don't even think anything happened between Drew and Randy on SmackDown, did it? I didn't watch it. But did anything happen between them?
Um, like the night before Chamber, you
Yes.
mean? So there was like I think they opened the show maybe, um, because Drew was there. So they were all like in the ring, and Cody was saying like, "Oh, all you've done like your title reign is just run," which he's not wrong. He kind of just been ruining everybody else's matches, then just dashing out of there. And so you had all, I guess, five because it's before Logan had won and Jay had
Yeah.
already been taken out.
Hmm.
Uh, five guys in the ring. They had Drew up in the crowd, and Randy he nailed Javon Evans with an RKO, and then kind of just stared at Cody. Um, but yeah, I don't think they had anything other than that because I went back and watched. I made sure I watched all of Logan's match against Jacob, and then which Drew even had a run in on that too. So that again tells you that they're kind of have fought too in that match
Hmm.
at Mania because that's how Logan was able to win. Drew had a run in, and the ref didn't see him. And then so I went back and watched all of that, and I watched the segment with all the Chamber guys. But no, I don't think Randy had anything to say to Drew.
Then why do it? If they have a rivalry, whatever. I'm sure it'll all make sense the further down it goes. But right now, it just feels like a really dumb decision. Again, I'm happy Randy won. I'm a Randy
Team
fan.
SmackDown.
I'm gonna have to. But again, I'm a Randy fan. I don't want to get that like mixed up. I like Randy. Glad he won. Hope he gets that title shot. Oh, not shot, but like the title itself. I hope he wins it. I do. What is going on?
Utter chaos.
It's like watching Thomas book in my GM. Jeez, I don't know what's going on.
Hey, I just said I wouldn't have done that if I was the one booking it.
I mean, yeah, but Thomas, I've seen your your pay per view
Thomas, you
matches.
put Mr. McMahon, Shane McMahon, the Hulk Hogan, and The Undertaker, and Stone Cold and The Rock all in the same
I've seen you
match.
book Tom.
And then you go, where's all my money?
Anyway, we'll see. This better be a huge payoff. That's all I gotta say. If it's a
But,
dud of a match, I'm gonna be livid. I'm sure it won't. I'm sure it'll be fine. I got that
for
off
like
my
10
chest.
minutes long.
I got that off my chest.
Owen took like 10 minutes.
I think that main event night one. Again, I said I wanted to be Liv and Stephanie, but after
Yeah.
Randy
Mhm.
won, Randy even made the thing too. He kind of commented on it, and we've seen the reports that the ticket sales were kind of low. That was just because
Mhm.
Chamber hadn't happened yet. Now that
Yeah.
Chamber's happened, you have two fan favorites like Randy Orton and Rhea Ripley winning. That's gonna
Hmm.
skyrocket. Now
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
they're gonna be in the world title picture, and he even said too, he was like, "Oh, go get your tickets. Like the tickets are gonna go sell now because Randy Orton is the Viper,
Hmm.
Mr. 14-time champion, hoping to break the tie for third place and move within only two of John Cena's record, which would be crazy if he one day ties or surpasses it. Which
He won't.
surpassing, I don't really see, although I do think he does deserve it. Um,
I think he should tie Ric Flair, but he won't. He won't.
yeah,
He won't touch John, unfortunately. But
but even if he can just break the tie for third, like, would
yeah,
be an incredible accomplishment.
I agree. Well, glad I got all that off my chest. Glad we got to review Elimination Chamber. And before we go, I just want to say congratulations to Demolition for being the next inductee to the WWE Hall of Fame. I remember our dad
Yeah.
had those figures, and we'd play with them. I think they had like
Yep.
those giant masks. Those were
Yeah.
sick.
Yeah.
So congratulations to them. I don't even know if Thomas knows who we're talking about.
You're not gonna say congrats to AJ Styles?
I thought
Oh
that was
yeah,
2 weeks
was
ago.
Monday. We didn't say
Yeah,
that
that
either.
was Monday.
I thought we said that. And
No,
congratulations to AJ Styles. Yeah, that was Monday.
that sounds like you're gonna lead with the demolition. Nothing against them, but what
No,
about
I
I
just
AJ?
thought that was like 2 weeks ago.
yeah, I
I thought
thought we
we
already
did it.
yeah, I thought we already did it. I love AJ Styles. I just thought we did it already. But
AJ Styles.
congratulations to those for being the new inductees into the WWE Hall of Fame. This was this was an interesting episode.
Yep.
Should be a good week ahead. We got Kevin Knight versus MJF on Dynamite.
Hmm.
Cody Rhodes, Drew McIntyre on SmackDown. Obviously, like we said,
Roman.
Seth
Roman.
Rollins at Raw tonight.
Should be
I
interesting.
don't know exactly what Collision's looking like, but I'm
I
sure it'll
don't
be a
know either.
banger as usual.
We'll find out Wednesday, I guess.
Yeah.
Two of us got a rant. Ethan just kind of sat there.
Yeah, I didn't have anything to input into that rant. I really
But
didn't.
other than that, that should do it for today's episode. I hope you all enjoyed. If you somehow got this far, like, subscribe, or follow us on Spotify. Follow us on Instagram too. We usually post when a new episode's out. Kind of it, I'm going to be honest. But with that, we'll see y'all next time. Peace.